So we have seen in one of our session what is static data member and how is it different from non-static data member. So in this session we will be seeing the static data member again and along with the static method. So static data member and static method we will be seeing. Also we will be seeing non-static data member and non-static method. So we will be comparing the static and non-static members of a class. So here on the screen you can see we are having computer code class which is having main method in it, public static void main method, which is starting point of execution. Other than this class, in the same package basic.a, I have added one more class by name employee. So now in this employee class, I'm going to take first the non-static members. Like I will be taking int id, or let's take int employee id, emp id. And then the other member, I am going to take a method which will be void display. So void display as one of the method in the class I'm taking. So one data member, employee ID, and only one method display I'm taking in this employee class. And I'm not declaring for now static. I'm not using static keyword with this members. So in this display method, I'm going to use system.out.println method to display the ID. ID is the string ID is along with the value of emp ID. So this display method is going to display employee ID. Now from the main method, we are going to access these members. So now to access them, we need to use the object of employee class. Employee E1 equal to new and again employee, open and close parenthesis and semicolon. So with this statement, E1 as object for employee class we are creating. And then using E1, I will be able to access employee ID like this, which we are getting here in suggestion, you can see. And I'm assigning the ID as 101. Similarly, E1 dot, I'm going to access the display method. Now, if I execute this program, I will be getting ID is 101. So this is displayed by the display method. So what we have done, we have created object and using the object of class, we are accessing the employee ID and display method. And again, if I create another object, suppose for the same class, like if I create, no two objects can have same name in the same scope. So we need to have two different names for both the objects. So here I'm changing the object name and here also I'm changing the employee ID as 102. So with E1 as object, we are giving the employee ID 101. With E2 as object, we are giving the employee ID 102. So 101 is for E1 object, 102 for E2 object for the same employee ID data member. So and we are calling display the same method with two different objects. You can see here. And when I execute, I get both the times same statement but with two different values. ID is 101, here ID is 102. Similarly, you can create n number of objects for the same class and use this data member and method to display different employee IDs. So display method, the same display, the single display method will be used with multiple objects to display their different values respective to that each object. And then the employee ID, the same data member will be used with different objects and we can assign different values for employee ID, which will be stored in the memory of each different object. So whenever we create object for any class, a new memory is given to that objects. Like here, even we are creating, E1 will get a new memory. Similarly, E2 when we create, it will get a new memory which will be different from the E1. If you create E3, E3 will get another new memory which will be different from E1 and E2. So 3 different memories they will get. So as of now, we have created only 2 objects. So 2 different memories are used with employee ID. Now, if I write here static, so you have seen the difference. You have seen how we can access the data member and method which are non-static. So here we did not declare them static. So these are non-static data member and non-static method, non-static members of class. So in this way we can access them. So if you are not creating objects, suppose I comment the object, and if I just use class name instead of object, it will give me error. Need to create reference. So cannot make a static reference to non-static field. So compulsory we require object to access the non-static data members. Now if I declare them as static, so if I declare it as static, the data member and the method, both I'm declaring as static. So when I declare them as static, and now if I comment the object creation and if I use class to access them, I don't get any error. So no need of creating object. Directly with class name you can access employee ID. Now when I run, I get 101 and 102. So first time I have changed it to 101. So in the memory, it will be having 101 as the value. When I again write 102, the 101 will be removed and 102 will be placed. So 101 is replaced with 102. So at same time, we cannot display 101 and 102. So first after displaying 101 and again modifying, again then we can display 102 because it uses a single memory throughout the program. When we create objects, different memories are used. But when we are using it with class name, it uses single memory. So static members are not bounded with objects. Even if you are using multiple objects with static members, it will be still using a single memory, and simultaneously 2 different values cannot be displayed because only one value is held in the memory, which is the value recently modified. So whatever is the last modified value, only that remains in the memory, and that comes when any number of times if we are displaying, that many times the same value will be displayed. 2 different values will not be displayed in case of static. So whichever is in the memory, that is displayed in the single memory. So that is difference between static and non-static members of class. Static member uses single memory, same memory throughout the program, which is given to it at the time of declaration. It is not bounded with objects, unlike non-static members.